Testing.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Welcome to the back.
To the back.
To the back.
To the back.
Podcast. I came in really hard
did.
there.
You came in hot.
I came in hot because I am full of anxiety.
Yeah.
For the same reasons as normal, camera problems.
Let's just put it out there.
I'm coming in with that Derek Lively, PJ Washington energy, standing on business.
Yes.
Yeah, we smoked that OKC pack. Yeah, this is a sports episode.
It is.
Shout out Mavs.
Texas Rangers.
Shout out Rangers. Won last year. I thought, and the Stars were
current
in
champs.
the conference
We're
finals.
Current champs.
We have the chance. Dallas has a chance to win 3. Because I've given up on the Cowboys. They're like no longer.
No, okay, I haven't completely given up on them.
But also shout out Man City. You know I'm a Man City fan.
Yeah.
Back to back to back to back. Wait, at least it should be 4 Prem League champions. Didn't get the trouble this year, but it's always next year.
Well, this is my second championship to see him win, right?
Yeah.
Because it was last year that you got me into.
I've seen
football.
I know we've won. I'm trying because I became a Man City fan 2010 when I was 7/8 in 2010-2011.
And you were just a wee lad.
Wee lad, yeah. It's because I was like I watched the reason I chose them because Blue, and I liked the song Blue Moon. I liked watching Aguero and company. And then when Kevin De Bruyne got there, Kevin De Bruyne is he's my favorite, tied with Neymar. And then Antoine Griezmann. So and then my team is in La Liga is Atletico Madrid. But I chose them just because the Cowboys are blue, Mavs blue, like that, and then I just liked watching that team. And so that's kind of when their dominance started. Pep wasn't there yet, I don't think. No, yeah, Pep wasn't there yet.
That's their coach.
Yeah, Pep, he's a GOAT coach. Pep Guardiola. But I don't know. I'm grateful to be a Man City fan. I'm grateful to be a fan of the Mavs when we have Luka. I got to see the end of Dirk and watch a 2011 championship, and then transition. He handed the reins to Luka, and and then we picked up my at the time my non-Mav favorite basketball player, Kyrie.
Yeah.
So now we have Kyrie on our team. It's a dream situation for me. Low-key, my sports years as a kid were kind of down in the dumps, especially being a Cowboys fan. And now it's looking on the upside. Rangers won World Series. We have who I think is going to go down in the top 3 basketball players all time, Luka.
Of all time?
I think so. I think he has the potential for sure.
Yeah.
He's already with his resume, because I don't know if you know the NBA or not NBA, the Basketball Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. It isn't NBA Hall of Fame. It's basketball. So all it takes to it takes factors from all leagues. So his Euro career.
Oh yeah.
Prior to getting drafted, and that's before he turned 18, he already was a Hall of Famer because he won with Real Madrid and has so many championships and already.
Right.
So he already has a resume to be Hall of Famer. So I don't know. I just kind of went on a tangent. I'm full of adrenaline, but not in the good way. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm also, you can't really see it. This is technically a Boston hockey shirt, but more technically, it's a Happy Gilmore shirt.
Yeah.
Because I love me some sports movies. Happy Gilmore, Space Jam.
I didn't even think about that.
I know. I thought about it.
Talk about
Happy
our,
Gilmore,
sports
Space.
movies.
You know what I watched the other day? Dodgeball.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting some other. I love another Adam Sandler. I like the Longest Yard remake. I like that a lot. Yeah. Talladega Nights. Love it. If you're not first, you're last.
Considered a sport.
What, racing?
No, it is.
Yeah,
I actually do
I used to clown on it, turn left, but it is a sport.
No, because your muscles have to be so quick. So.
And it's the mental energy to
yeah.
Those cars go fast,
of it.
Especially Formula 1.
Yeah. There's sports movies Varsity Blues. I love Varsity
Coach
Blues.
Carter.
Yeah, Coach Carter's a good one.
Coach Carter's great.
What is it? I actually
Sandlot.
I guess it is baseball.
What? Yeah.
If you're talking baseball, Major League.
Oh, I love Major League.
So good. And also Field of Dreams, which I don't think you've seen.
I don't really like that. I've seen bits. I don't really like it like that.
I like it. My favorite baseball sports movie, though, even though Major League's up there because it's really funny.
Oh, Moneyball.
No, but I do like Moneyball.
What is it?
Bull Durham.
I don't know that one.
You haven't seen that. It's Susan Sarandon, Kevin Costner, Tim Robinson.
Remember
Like,
the Titans, Rocky, Creed.
yeah.
Those Creed movies.
I do
hit.
love Rocky a lot too. I mean, I like Creed too, but like Rocky was my childhood. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just impressive that he acted in, wrote in, directed that.
Blades of Glory, technically.
Yeah, I love Blades of Glory.
Also, 42. Rest in peace,
Oh,
Chadwick.
yeah.
That movie
Yeah.
makes me so sad. It's either that or Silence, my favorite baseball movie. Trying to think. I feel like there's others I'm forgetting.
Well, I would say.
Oh, Air Bud.
Yeah, I wasn't
The GOAT.
joking.
Sorry, you will say.
I was gonna say, Bring It On.
Yeah, that's a great sports movie.
It is. It's a cheerocracy.
I need to watch that. I haven't watched it.
I love that movie so much.
Because I was in the Bring It On musical, and so I watched it when that was out. That's been years. Because I was in high school.
Oh, Jerry Maguire. That's a really
I haven't seen that
it's
one
so
either.
good.
It's same with
really good.
same with Remember the Titans. I haven't seen.
Oh, I've seen it. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah. It's like a rom-com. It's the one. It's the. I haven't seen Bend It Like Beckham, but it's the
I've
one.
seen it. It's good.
But it's the one. Where she pretends to be a boy that I love.
Oh, She's the Man.
She's the Man. Yeah, the soccer one.
I
yeah.
still haven't seen that all the way
I'd say
through.
soccer
I've just
because
seen
it's an
bits and
American
pieces.
one. It's
Yeah.
great. Oh, technically. And it got to squeeze.
Oh, Nacho Libre. Actually,
Wrestling.
yes, I was going to talk about.
Wrestling.
I was going to talk about wrestling because.
Oh yeah. We haven't This is a sports episode.
It's a sports episode. Yes.
It's a sports episode.
Clearly, I thought we'd talk about
We love sports.
The sport, like the teams that we love, and kind of how that came to be.
My top teams.
Kind of, yeah.
I name all my top teams in this order go. Number 1's Mavs. Number 2 is Man City. Number 3 is the Cowboys. They've been bumped down. Number 4 is the Rangers, tied with Atletico Madrid. Just because I like football more than baseball as far as watching.
Yeah.
And then am I forgetting? I don't really watch hockey. I can't claim the Stars. I'll root for them because from Dallas.
Right.
So if I have any, it's them. But I don't think I've ever watched a full hockey match on TV live ever.
Well, hockey is better in person.
I played street hockey.
Hockey is. I have been to one Mavs game. I went with Aunt Kelly, because the guy I was dating at the time had tickets. Stars, yeah, not Mavs. Sorry, they would play at the same arena. So. That makes sense that I'd mix it up. But yeah, I've been to one Stars game and it was electric. It was so much fun. Hockey is definitely a sport that is better to watch in person. And in person, it's a blast.
Great. And you can dress all cozy because it's cold. And I like watching the Zamboni. And
then the Mavs games, I've only gone with you.
Yeah.
Not just with you. The first time we went was when Andy was still alive. We went as a family.
We lost to the Pacers.
When we lost to the Pacers, so I'm kind of hoping we make it to the finals and the Pacers are in there.
Get some personal revenge.
Yeah.
Get some much needed justice.
And then we've gone 2 other times before the season. How far? We didn't make it as far as we did this time, right?
No. We went
so we lost to the Clippers
in
that one.
It was the playoffs after the bubble, I think. It was 2021.
2021.
And then we lost to the Clippers and we went to a regular season game towards the end
against
the Raptors. Yeah, it was the last game against the Raptors, which we won. And then we went to a playoff series game against the Clippers, which we lost that one.
Yeah.
But since then we smoked the Clippers. Yeah. So
we hate the Clippers.
I hate all the LA teams. I only like the Lakers when they had Kobe because Kobe is one of my favorites.
What is it? So yeah, I've been to a few Mavs games, been to one Stars game. I've been to one Dallas Cowboy game, but it was when I was 8 or 9, and it was at the very old stadium.
Lucky.
We've been to AT&T Stadium.
We've been to
WrestleMania.
Yeah, we've been to WrestleMania. We've done a 32.
Race where we ended up on the field.
No, we've been in the stadium so many times in so many different ways. Yeah.
Just never been to a game there yet.
Nope.
Yet.
We've been to a scrimmage.
Yes, we went to practice. It was practice.
When Tony Romo was still there.
Yeah. Oh my God, he wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
That's crazy. It was the year that Dak took over, I think.
No, it was.
No, it wasn't. You're right.
It was well before because I was in elementary.
That's right.
And Dak didn't become until.
I was still thin.
Dak was, I think, my high school freshman year around. Maybe. Freshman or 8th grade.
8th grade.
Because people started calling me Dak.
2016.
Yeah, people called me Dak in high school because my name's Dakota. They only call it for a hot minute.
Right.
Before I snapped at them.
It's better than DK. I hated that.
Stupid. I was.
But what is it? And And then the Rangers game, Rangers is actually the team I should feel the strongest for because I've been to multiple games. The old stadium, well, the old stadium. We're now on the third stadium that I know of.
Yeah.
I worked Ranger games when I was a teenager as a fundraiser for the church that our church youth group. And so it's just, there's a lot of history with the Rangers for me. I got to work the last game of the old stadium, and we were able to like sign our names on the wall before it was going to be torn down and everything.
Yeah.
Like, which is, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's going to be torn down, but like, it was just something we got to do. Technically Dakota's been to a game because I was pregnant when I went to a game. This is when Pudge was still our catcher, and I had the hugest crush on Pudge. And that's actually really funny. Like where I went, when I was pregnant with Dakota, I was waiting tables. What?
We eventually should say our favorite sports memories.
Yeah.
Like watching them, because I just thought of one for the Rangers. That
right.
I love. But you were waiting tables.
What is? I was waiting tables. At Cheddar's. Shout out Cheddar's. Great.
Shout
food.
out Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen.
Yeah. And we had like a contest. We had like teams, and we were trying to see which team could sell the most at the time. It was like our the flavored lemonades that had just been introduced. And whoever sold the most, whatever team sold the most, was going to get to go to a Ranger game. Well, I was not on the team that sold the most, but I was the top seller on my team. So our manager at the time, whose name was Kelly, she took all of the top sellers from each team with her team was the team that won.
Go figure.
And so we're at the game, we're sitting, and I'm like talking about the huge crush I have on Pudge Rodriguez, right? And there's this guy that I work with, a white man, said, well, you know, he's married. It's not like he would, I don't think he would,
what's the point?
I was
What's
like, first I was like, how do you know he's married? He's like, because he has kids, and he's not the kind of person that would have a kid out of wedlock.
That's
not
insane.
not knowing I'm pregnant. And I was like, oh, well, sure. Yeah. You know, I'm pregnant, right? And his, like, the color drained from his face. What color? Yeah. It was just, he realized he had stuffed in it. But, like, I mean, I just, you know, this is a time when I definitely watch sports more just because that's what I grew up. I grew up in a household that watched sports. Like, the reason I love the Cowboys is because my house was a diehard Cowboy. Like, not just my dad and my mom, or my dad and my stepmom. My stepmom couldn't give a shit about sports, honestly. But like, also my grandmother and my mother, like, my grandmother was like, you couldn't say anything about Tom Landry.
I mean, it's Texas. Like,
yeah,
the chances of you not being a Cowboys fan growing up in the 90s.
Well, in the 80s and 90s.
I mean, now, period.
70s, too.
It's still crazy not to be a Cowboys fan, but, like, especially then, you know, when we were dominant.
Well, and it's also just football is such a huge deal in
Texas.
Like,
it was like growing up, it's like if you grew up in Chicago in the 90s and you weren't a Bulls fan. Like, what?
Right. It would be weird. Or, like, if you're from Canada and you didn't like hockey.
Yeah.
It is literally like that. I mean, Friday Night Lights is based on a town in Texas. Like, football's a huge thing here. But I do think the Mavs, the Stars, and the Rangers have, like, especially the Mavs and the Stars, because Stars have a championship, Mavs have one.
North Texas, but, like, for sure, like, I mean, the Spurs, you forget about them. They were dominant in 2010.
Oh, yeah, I don't like
unfortunately,
them, so just ignore that.
The cheater Astros.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes.
Rockets, not so much.
Are they even a viable option?
The Rockets?
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry
to anybody from Houston watching.
Sorry.
You have great art and culture.
Yeah. I mean, Austin,
not
though, college football, UT.
Yeah. Well, and also
A&M was big.
SMU and TCU.
And then Baylor. I think of the Baylor
women's
in college basketball and everything. So sports is huge in Texas. Like, it's probably the biggest thing in Texas, if not like food.
Yeah. So so I just grew up. I was a Mavs fan in the 80s when it was super uncool to be a Mavs fan. Again, it's just because that's what we watched. Like, my dad watched sports, and like, so it was on. I will say, as I've gotten older, I know more about sports than obviously I did as like a young teenage girl.
Yeah. I mean, but same here. I don't think it kind of has stuff to do with gender, but kind of really doesn't, because I didn't know that much really about sports, and the more I've grown, the more I know about it.
You know more about sports than I do. Like, it's definitely more of a special interest for you than it is for me.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I mean, I play like Madden.
I don't know stats. That is.
I don't even know stats. Like people know like there are statisticians.
Yeah.
I know stats like for the teams and players I care about.
Right.
And like maybe a little extra.
My favorite thing is learning like the little like the things about players that aren't about their sport they're doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you thought about like you said like I know stuff. I was like first thing that came to mind is that I don't know if he's a Colts kicker anymore, but it was one that had like the goggle glasses. Like he was known for Legos and liking Legos, and I was like it's something I always like every time I saw him I knew that about him.
Or what's his name? The one that's at WWE now as an announcer. He was I think he was a kicker for like a really good kicker, and I cannot think of his name right now. He's one of the correspondents for WWE, and he's done some wrestling inside the ring too. You know, as like a special showcase type of thing.
I was gonna ask though, since we were just talking about the Mavs in general, how did you feel? Like, did you have any feelings when Mark bought the team? Because you were alive when that happened.
I was still.
Because now we love that Mark owns a team.
No,
shout out Mark Cuban.
I don't remember.
You want to cancel our debt?
Yeah, please. Gonna fund this, please.
We're gonna fund. Hey, Mark Cuban. I'm gonna call it now. Mavs win the finals in 5 games, and Luka gets MVP. Luka gets MVP, and on the last game, Derek Lively has a double-double. If I get that right, you have to fund the rest of our lives. I don't care. I call it now.
The rest of our lives.
Yes, rest of our lives. It won't be that much. We don't even ask for that much. The bare minimum.
True. Now I'm a huge Mark Cuban fan, just outside of him owning the Mavs. Yeah. I do think that he is one of the...
He was always my favorite shark.
Yeah, he was always my favorite
shark.
I hated
every other shark, actually. I didn't like any of them. They all annoyed me. I didn't like Mr. What's his name? Wonderful, whatever.
Oh, yeah, no.
I like the blonde. The younger blonde. I liked her.
Yeah.
Everyone else I didn't like.
I can't... anyhow.
Yeah.
I think this, because he does a lot of... I don't know. I think it's because he didn't come from wealth, right? Like he literally did build his wealth. Although you can argue because he's a billionaire, he's also stealing labor because that's, I just feel like he's one of the rich people that remembers that he didn't come from wealth, and like he's doing as much, like probably not as much as he can, but he's doing something more than others to help. Like the fact that he has, I can't think of what the name of that company is that he has, that he helped launch, I think 2 years ago. It's the RX company that helps people get drugs.
Oh, yeah.
At cost.
No, that's amazing, actually.
Yeah, no, that is actually. And, the fact that he paid all of his employees during the pandemic. I'm not talking about the actual basketball stars. I'm talking about down to the concession stand workers. Like, he paid the whole time it was shut down through the pandemic. So I feel like he does a lot of good. I love how passionate he is about, because we've gone to games.
He's at all the games, and not even just the home games. Like, he's at the other ones. I love when we go, like we play on the road and they show the other team's owners and they cut right back to Mark. And like he's either like looking at the owner.
He's the only owner that doesn't look like he's miserable, I feel like, when you cut to him.
Besides the Clippers, and he's just obnoxious. I hate Steve Ballmer.
Well, yeah, he's racist, so terrible.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Are you worried that your thing's not on?
No, I tend to click. There's like a volume thing on here, and I tend to click it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it really does anything, but like every time it does it, it makes me paranoid. Anyways.
So yeah, like I don't remember if there was any backlash when he took over. I do remember. I think there was like some stuff about the fact that maybe because like he didn't wear a suit, on the side. And that he was so passionate about it. I think that was we didn't see that a lot with owners.
Yeah. He embraced being an owner in every single way.
Oh, and he's all in. Yeah. So I don't know if there was backlash. There probably was, because again, I was a teenager and like I had my own, shit going on.
Yeah.
But I think all of Dallas has embraced him the way that we've embraced Kyrie.
It makes me so happy. Like,
it does.
All the edits I see and the things and like the interviews and the everything with Kyrie. I don't want to assume, because I don't know what it's like in his personal life. Everything he said, that he's found like a home and like a relationship.
He
with
seems
like
very
Luka.
happy
like,
here. Yeah.
I'm glad to see him happy.
Yeah.
Especially like the fact that it's with us.
Right.
but just in general because, like I said before, he was one of my favorites before he joined the Mavs.
Do you feel like Luka is more settled?
Yeah. And like it was my favorite thing was like I watched another. It came up. I cried watching it again, but it was like after this most recent win, I think, or maybe the one before, and it was like the reporter asked, "What does like each other mean to you?"
No,
as,
it was
like,
the
brothers?
most recent, yeah.
And then he was like, and then Kyrie mentioned being able to, like, what's the word? Lend him fatherly advice, basically, because he's a new father.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes me like I almost teared up watching that.
No, I think it's a really good, just a really good fit. Like I think a better fit than we even hoped for, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially considering it wasn't last year, but that's because we got him so close to the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't enough time. Luka was injured a lot towards the end of that season.
Luka's still injured.
He is. Yes, he is.
The fact we beat the number 1 seed and the Clippers with Luka not fully Luka yet, and hopefully he's on like the recovery. It's like everything shows like he's said like he's feeling better.
Yeah.
Gives me hope. But no, yeah, I'm just like I'm happy. Like I love seeing players be happy.
And I also love the trades that we made this season.
No, yeah, I
the
love
energy.
PJ.
I love PJ.
I
like
loved,
I want that kind of the fact that he's a hometown boy.
Yeah.
Like I really love that for him, and that he is so passionate as well about the way that he plays. Yeah. Derek Jones Jr. has been a really good asset too, and the rookie Derek Lively. Like, I think we personally, you Derek and I Jones have Jr. like this immediately embraced him.
Well, yeah, because I'm mixed like he is. We've both unfortunately lost parents to cancer.
Yeah.
At around the same age.
Lost it even before that. Like he the fact that when we heard the interview where he talked about, of course I live with my mom. Why wouldn't I live with my mom? Yeah. You know, she cooks for me. I have somebody I can come home and talk to. Like, because he's 20. Is he 20?
He's 20 or 19.
Yeah, he's still. I mean, he's a kid. I know he's like a huge kid, right?
Very tall kid.
He's a very tall kid.
Very tall.
But I think immediately because we saw the connection he has with his mom is very much like the way that we are, and then to watch him lose her and then go on and still like do you have these great games, it's a lot. Like I can't even I feel like he's probably on autopilot right now as someone who's gone through grief like that.
Well, like I just want to look up just to make sure. I think a big thing that's like helped get us so far
yeah
is the healthy environment that's in the locker room.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
And so, like, speaking towards that, like, like, you think, like, there's so many, like, bad trades that in, like, Mavs history, like, Rondo, and, like, it's not worked out. And I'm not trying to speak bad on players and ill will, but, like, they didn't, the environment was toxic. And, like, another thing, reports, I don't know, because I don't want to speak to anything, I don't want to say anything definitively, but, like, when we had the trade to get Daniel Gafford and to get PJ, we got rid of Grant Williams, who, like, apparently there was a lot of, like, things between Grant Williams, and he was playing like shit. Like, there's no beating around the bush about that. But, like, if you add on the fact you're creating a bad environment in the locker room,
right?
But, like, we got back people, and then also having Derek Jones Jr., like that basketball YouTuber I tell you all about all the time. For the viewers, his name's it's Kenny Beecham, King of the Fourth Quarter. Shout out to The Wire. Derek Jones Jr. was a former Bull, right? And that's what Kenny's team is. They're all from Chicago. And then when Kenny was up and coming, like, he wasn't as famous as he is now. I mean, they have an ESPN show, right? Yeah. But, like, when he was doing interviews, and he, like, did, like, something for the Bulls where he was in the stadium, and there was a sign, like, someone picking up him, Kenny. It was like, Kenny's here. And, like, Derek Jones Jr., I, like, walking randomly saw that, and, like, he remembered that he did an interview with Kenny, and he would pop in and say, hey, what's up? And, like, he's the type of person who, like, remembers things and, like, goes out of his way. Like, he's a good, like, all the interviews, I love seeing him.
Yeah.
Like, good vibes. I miss Jalen.
No, and I will say...
It sucks the way he went out with the broken hand in the Game 7.
But
like,
also, a lot of people have said, like, we wouldn't be able to do well without him.
Yeah.
And
I think it was a good benefit for both of us.
Yeah, he's getting to shine on the Knicks, and we have this really great team chemistry. Not that Jalen was ever a problem. He wasn't. No, he held down that.
We went to the conference finals with him.
What was it? Was it the Magic? No. Who is it? When Luka the playoffs we went to, there was the team before that when Luka got injured and Jalen held that playoff down.
I don't remember.
What team was
I gotta
that
look it
now?
up. It was the Warriors that we lost to in the finals with the Jazz, I think. Utah?
Jazz, yes.
When they were so good.
Yeah. And everybody was like, "Oh, Luka's out. We're done for," and he held it down. So
he's doing business.
We were really sad when Jalen left. But
I still have the Brunson jersey.
I do too. I just can't fit into it.
People have a bunch of Knicks Jalen Brunson jerseys. I can pop out the old school Mavs Jalen Brunson jersey. It's like having almost, not to the extent, it was like having like a Magic Shaquille jersey.
Oh,
before we went to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Not that Jalen's gonna get to there. I love you, Jalen, but you're not gonna be Shaquille. If you can become as great as Shaquille, my bad.
But I don't know if he has the personality of Shaquille O'Neal though either.
He has a better one, low-key.
I like Shaquille O'Neal.
I like Shaq, but like, as far as to be friends with,
I'd be friends with Shaq in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He is really funny and surprising. The man DJs.
He's very smart too.
Yeah, and like I was watching like a TikTok of like Shaq's funniest moments or like most surprising. And then there's the one where he's on the court having like a dance off with, I think it's LeBron.
Yeah, I've seen
and he does the breakdancing move. Like he can move for a big man. The fact that he DJs, the fact that he's constantly, when he goes out places, will just randomly pay for people's groceries and shit. He's a good dude. I like Shaq a lot. Charles Barkley, not so much. No offense.
Oh no, I don't.
Mainly because he hates on San Antonio, which, okay, good. I don't like the Spurs either, but he has this thing about saying that all of the women in San Antonio are fat and ugly, and like, yes, like there's so many clips of him saying it, and I don't know what woman broke his heart in San Antonio, because that's what I feel like this is.
Speaking of
like a Stephen A. Smith situation, hating the fucking Cowboys, you know,
because your girlfriend was a Cowboys fan. Yes. Jesus Christ,
I know. Let's talk about. I thought I could hold a grudge, but cheese and crackers, that's a lot.
I can't listen to Steven anymore, man. I'm sorry.
No, once Max left, I couldn't. It's just not the same.
I miss Max Kellerman.
I do too.
Martian's death being pointed at Earth. I want Iguodala. We didn't got to our favorite sports moment.
Our favorite. Well, you can talk about that.
Okay, I thought about it. First one that came to mind that we both shared when we saw. I have a bunch of Mavs ones, but I don't speak of this one first. Rangers. Was it Odor, that punch?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god, I hate the Blue Jays. And like seeing that, because she had the Ryan thing.
I was to say, I've been alive.
But I had the Odor. That I think it was a right hand. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Blue Jays their fan base is so bad.
I don't support violence, but yeah, it was. I'm glad I was able to see that.
It was warranted. Because wasn't it that he slid into his... Yeah, that was warranted. I feel like.
But like that, like obviously like seeing like Man City win the treble is amazing, and like winning the Premier League. Speaking of Man City, my favorite Man City is the Aguero moment when we won it on the last day in 2011, I believe. Mavs though, like I have so many Luka ones, like because I've been watching Luka since he was drafted, like because I've been a Mavs fan since, but I've like watched. I think if we did the math as far as Luka games that he's played in, I think I've watched at least 95% of all of them. And the other 5% is because either I was asleep or I was sick or something. Or I couldn't watch it. I
also want to throw this out here. I did not watch the last 2 games that we won. And
we're very superstitious.
Yeah, so very superstitious. So here's what happened. So game 5, right? I put it on, and it's already, because remember we lost pretty badly in game 4, right?
Yeah.
And game 5 was starting the way that game 4 had started, and I was like, you know what? I already stayed up late one night to watch us lose. I'm not going to do this again. I already know there's 2 more games. I'm just going to go to sleep. I'm not going to let myself get worked up, right? And then I wake up to we had won, right? Well, then game 6, fully go in, start to watch it. It starts the same way, where it's just like we're already down almost 10 points. I'm like, what the hell? So I turned it off, because I was like, if I turn it off, we'll win. Because that's what happened last time.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So I'm here to tell you, in this next round, if it means I can't watch a game, I will turn it off. If it means that we can win. But I did keep up. Like I was telling him, I kept up. Like I stayed awake through the whole game, and I was on Google like every 10 seconds watching the little basketball animation they have go back and forth. And I will say, what I like about Luka is he has he does, but even our team has these last minute wins.
Well,
last second wins.
As I was saying, my favorite memories, rookie year, it wasn't a win, but it was the shout out Mark Followell, my favorite commentator. I'm gonna like make sure. I love you, Mark. I wish you were commentating the rest of our games for this playoff.
Yeah,
you and really Derek Harper.
We love our commentators.
Like I love. Period. We have the best commentators.
Yeah.
And Jeff Skin Lively.
Besides maybe Charlotte, they have really good ones.
Jeff Skin Lively, Jeff Skin Wade.
Yeah.
Charlotte has good ones.
Yeah.
But shout out Mavs commentators. But Mark Followell did like the infamous. It's used for almost everything. Is Luka Magic? Is his rookie season that buzzer beater to send overtime against the Trailblazers in the corner, fadeaway shot 3-pointer. But that. I was there when he had the buzz beater in the bubble against the Clippers. I was thinking
about that just now.
And like I watched it with Andy.
Wasn't I at the store?
You weren't there yet because I was watching with Andy and I like him lost our minds.
Yeah.
It was insane. Trying to think of what like
the most recent one is the one for me is the where Luka was it he like falls, throws the ball, and Kyrie made that.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I thought you would say the hook shot in the regular season. He did one against the John Morant, the Grizzlies. I think it was also 2020. Where remember he like to win the game, he caught the pass and then like did like a leaning push shot 3-pointer. Yeah. Like Luka's insane. I'm sorry, Luka's like because the few Mavs games we saw, he practices these circus shots.
Yeah, he
does it before.
If you follow them on social media, there's a lot of before the game where he just makes these insane weird shots.
Yeah,
like he's definitely like a freak when it comes to. I mean, this is a man that's very kinetically sport intelligent.
No, like, he's been gifted. He is, it probably wouldn't make sense to you, but like I think he's the equivalent to like almost like Messi. Like he was gifted by when people talk about like Messi, they say like he was gifted, like God gave him gifted talent. Like I think that's how with Luka, and like the equivalent I think is like LeBron is probably like Ronaldo, like a physical freak athlete.
Yeah.
Only Cowboy memory I want to say, and it's not even a good one. Dez caught it. Dez caught it. I don't want to hear it. Like, and that team would have won the Super Bowl. Everyone knows that, and the refs would come out and said he caught it. It's ridiculous. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Obviously, I was a teenager when we had three-peat. So I grew up in some of the glory days of Dallas Cowboys. I don't think you could. There are some Cowboys that I don't think you'd ever be able to speak ill of them in front of anybody. There's obviously the coach Tom Landry.
Irvin.
No, I wouldn't say Irvin. I'd say Emmitt Smith.
Oh yeah,
it's Emmitt Smith out of those. Troy Aikman could have been it if he had never gone into corresponding, but we really hated. The best thing that ever happened was when he left Fox, and I didn't have to because it wasn't like look.
It's the most Captain Obvious ever. Like oh my god, and his voice is annoying.
Well, it's not that. It's just that he really went out of his way when he would call our games to make it be like I'm not preferential to the Cowboys, and it's just almost like hating. And I'm like, you have 3 rings from us, like you didn't do that alone. You had a dream team. Let's calm down, right? Yeah. I've really loved watching Tony Romo leave, and he's solidified his state in NFL history because of his corresponding. I feel like
I love Tony.
That's another one who is very sports minded, like the gifting he has to read plays, and it's just so now I don't think anybody could say anything about Romo.
Yeah, he used to get a bunch.
But he got a lot of hate when he was playing. It is very difficult to be a quarterback for the Cowboys, and I think a lot of people forget that even half decent quarterbacks could win championships if they have the right team and coach around them. I personally have the way that like I've embraced Derek Lively, where I feel like I am old enough to be Derek Lively's mother. I'm not old enough to be Dak's mother, but I'm old enough to be his auntie. Like, and the fact that his name is Dakota. The fact that he wears number 4.
His mom's also white.
He's mixed. And the fact that I've watched him grow up.
Yeah.
And the things that he's gone through, losing his brother and losing his mom right before he goes into the draft, like he's been through it. And then he's another one that's a new dad too. And I've watched him become the man that he's become. I'm very proud of him. Like it probably doesn't mean anything to him because I'm just this random stranger, but I've said it to you. Because I know his contract is up, like if he goes somewhere else, go get your money.
Get your bag.
Yeah. I would love for him to
support
stay a
all
Cowboy.
players getting their bags because it's their living. Like money is so fucking important.
And because again, your career is so short in the NFL is probably one of the shortest careers.
Yeah,
wise.
for sure. I think so.
For
that technically, I would say gymnastics.
Well, yeah, in gymnastics, yes. And that's funny because remember I was talking to Natasha and we were talking about like the sport that women dominate, and it's gymnastics.
It's gymnastics. I mean, yeah, it is. I would say USA soccer, but the men's team has gotten better.
Yeah,
the men's team has
but yes, but it's still not. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I think that almost all of the Olympic sports, I would say track and field, they're pretty equal with the guys on there.
Oh yeah, and swimming for USA. Well.
Yeah, for USA.
Because God, the Jamaican team.
Yeah, but
swimming.
I'd say swimming.
I think now it's even. When Phelps was there, it was not even.
Yeah,
Phelps is literally, he is one of the people you can say is a GOAT.
No, athlete. He is 100%. Yeah. But I don't even know where I went with all that.
Women's.
I don't know how we went from DAC to women's though.
I don't know though. How
that
did
is
we
weird.
get to DAC to women?
I don't know. I'm gonna say I'm never gonna stop loving the Cowboys. But I will say because of the way the NFL is being ran. The things that are going on in the NFL, it is harder and harder. But I still love there's something
we always
about
get in the mood.
It's because it's fall.
And
it's associated with fall. I love putting on
the Thanksgiving games.
Yeah.
It's college football. It's the music that plays. It's the atmosphere, right?
Well, I love having football on Sundays, and I clean and I do laundry and I just like having it in the background.
Fantasy football.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy football. I will say, as a woman, I do know, I guess the average woman, I know more about sports than them, but I don't feel like I know that much more. But if you're a woman and you're like, oh, sports isn't my thing, I promise you there's so much drama in sports. Like, just get to know, and especially get to know the players. Like, if you get to know them outside of the sport, like, it's very much like if you were interested in celebrities that are in movies and TV and all that, right? There's a whole lot of drama.
In every sport.
And I will admit, for years, I was like, soccer is the most boring fucking thing ever. It's like watching paint dry.
When soccer is going, it is the best sport in the world. I'm saying that. Either that or basketball.
The tension.
And you haven't even seen, have I ever mentioned the name Zidane to you?
I don't think so.
He's a French player legend. He's famous for being good, but one of his more infamous things is, I'm pretty sure he got a red card. He headbutted a player in the chest.
What?
Like full on.
Sorry.
I love football, bro.
Yeah. No, and honestly they flop. I thought NBA players were bad. I thought NBA players with flopping were bad.
I don't know.
But soccer is, come on.
No, what's his name? Recently we just played OKC. What's his name? Lou Dort.
Oh yeah.
Going for the Oscar. Like Jesus.
Oh no, and LeBron is famous for flopping, and everyone talks about how Luka is begs for fouls to be called, but LeBron does the same thing too.
Yeah, and also, but most of the time Luka is right with the calls. Yeah, he does it a lot, but more times than not, has a point.
Oh no, what is it? What player was it that literally body checked him right in front of Tony Brothers and
Lou Dort.
Yeah, nothing.
Lou Dort.
But I will say, if you're American, and you're like, oh, soccer or football, right? That they call it, the original football. Give it a chance. Pick a team. I mean, I will say,
and to be fair, football makes more sense for soccer because they literally play with their feet.
Yes, I know.
But then you're like, oh, what do you call American football? Handball? No, handball's already a thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Throw ball.
But then that you throw a ball in basketball and baseball too. So
So
baseball's another one that's better live as well, even though it's longer, but it's the experience, getting to eat the food at the stadium and just sitting there.
Actually, I don't want to sing that because it might be a racist song and I don't know. There's so many old American songs I'm just scared of singing now.
Yeah.
Ice Cream Truck, racist.
Yeah. What is it? But it's especially I think for me, getting into Man City, getting into that
you're getting you get the anxiety when you watch now.
No,
you get into it.
What I was gonna say is what helped is watching your passion for it.
Oh, I think you say Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso
and
did
Blue
help.
Lock.
Like honestly. But what is it? It's like whenever there's from I don't remember the exact quote. It's from a book called Blue Like Jazz. It's basically like you can fall in love with something if you watch somebody else love it. And I've experienced a lot of things like that in my life. Where
artists, like music artists that are not my favorite because my friends put me on.
Right. Like I was gonna say, like when Ben and I went down to see Blue October in San Marcos, on the trip there, he played the Rent soundtrack, and I had seen Rent before, like, and I didn't really like.
He put you on Rent.
Liked
That's
it that
crazy.
much, right? But watching him sing along to it with such passion, and because we're both vocalists, that probably helped too. I like watching him love it and helped me to fall in love with it and give it a second chance, right?
Yeah.
And that's been the same case with like soccer, or even basketball. I mean, yeah, I watched Mavs games growing up, but football was the thing that we watched the most. Football and baseball actually were the thing we watched the most in my house growing up. Watching you become a fan and be passionate about it helped me to want to dive into it more. And it's not like I'm adopting your personality. It's not that kind of thing. Although, I mean, yeah, I am very neurodivergent and it's a tendency to do that. It's just, it's another way to connect. It's like the way that like we fell in love with Munchkin because of Andy, right? Yeah. Or I fell in love with like DC and Marvel because of you and him, you know? Like it's just finding, or you watch Game of Thrones because I kept telling you how good it was.
Harry Potter world.
Yeah, like I think that's a good way. I send you
Harry Potter stuff all the time. I send you Harry Potter stuff all the time.
But I'm saying like it's a good. I promise you, if even not just women but men too, if it's like you're like, oh, sports isn't my thing. I don't know if it's somebody you cares about it. Try it, and again, lots of drama on the court, off the court, on the field, off the field, lots of drama. It's entertaining if you just give it a little attention.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I don't know if is there any players I've actually met?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yes, wrestling. Okay, so
shout out Becky Lynch.
Yeah, we've met Alexa Bliss. We've met
Alexa Bliss. Lana. We met Lita.
Yep.
We met
Ryback. Is it Ryback?
We didn't meet Ryback. He was gone before. We met a lot of them aren't even in WWE anymore. I forget who we met.
Oh, Samoa Joe.
I don't know if he's in the WWE anymore. I haven't seen anything about him. And I don't watch anymore like that. I'm trying to think who we met. We met a lot of the up and coming during that women's revolution, like the ones who started that. We met a lot of them. Sasha Banks, I think, was there. I don't know if we talked to her
that time. But we got to actually talk to Lita and Alexa Bliss and Lana.
Yeah.
And Samoa, like.
And then Stone Cold.
So what it was is I won tickets to WrestleMania when it was here in town. Which one was that?
32.
And we won him through WFAA. And we went to pick him up. And that's when we got to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin because he was doing like a short little interview. I was more impressed to meet Greg Fields. He was the meteorologist that I grew up with. But first off, Stone Cold is huge in person.
Stone Cold is one of. I think it helped. I think it was more because I was younger at the time. I don't get like really starstruck now, but like that was one of the ones where like I got shivers. Like, oh my god, he's here. Oh my god, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He was so nice.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
He's like so soft spoken when you meet him in person, and so nice. Like very generous. He was like, yeah, let's get some pictures, and he didn't have to do any of that.
No, yeah.
Like we were just there to pick up tickets. The guy who I had talked to that set it up, we weren't even supposed to be there. He was like, would he like to come and meet him? He's going to be filming in there. That's and I was like, it was actually really, really cool of them. And then we went to like it was like a launch, like an event. Yeah. Kind of, it wasn't, but right the weekend of WrestleMania, it was like, no, it wasn't the weekend. It was like a month before, but it was just a like hype up type of thing.
Yeah, we were into WWE. I mean, we still like keep up with it now, but we were like into it watching on the regular, probably from like 2013, 14. At least I was, and then I got you onto it until like 2018.
Well, I watched 19? Wrestling as a kid when like Hulk Hogan.
I got you back into it.
Yeah, and then I went away from it as a teenager, And then I got back into it when you were in middle. Well, actually,
elementary.
You really watched
it was
since elementary.
No, because I grew up because I played the games.
Yeah.
SmackDown versus Raw 2008 on my PS2.
Yeah.
And I have to. This is gross, but either blow on it if it didn't work, it had scratches, or I would spit on it and go and clean it. Like, come on, work. I want to play as Jeff Hardy. I want to play as Kane. I want to be the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Every night I dream of being the Undertaker, smashing skulls in.
I forgot about that. That's if you watch South Park, look up the wrestling
Rey Mysterio
episode.
Wrestling culture, very toxic, but that's the thing with every sport almost.
Yeah, every.
But no, yeah. We were huge into wrestling.
Yes, and I think that I kind of got back into it lately because Cody Rhodes, his storyline with him. It's just really cool. We loved him as Stardust, and then he's finally came back and he went away to was it TNA? Is that where he went?
No, AEW.
AEW, and then came back here, and now he's getting to wrestle.
You pulled out TNA though.
Yeah, I get confused on them. But
TNA was the AEW before AEW got popular.
But then and it wasn't just that. I watched Total Bellas and Total Divas, which were reality shows on E, and Total Divas featured on the women's. So now it's women's champions. Like they're actually they've changed a while ago.
Correct.
But it used to be called the Divas Championship. That's what the women in wrestling were divas.
Just wild.
I don't know.
That's wild, by the way.
I don't know.
Diva is literally a derogatory term. Like it's if you're a diva, you're not. That's not a good term.
It depends.
No one says, "Oh, you're such a diva," like in a good way. Look at my little diva.
Yeah.
What?
And then Total Bellas was a spinoff from that and featuring the Bella twins, which I think they're going by their actual last names, their real last names now, Garcia.
Favorite source moment, watching Daniel Bryan win the WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, and so that was another way that I was able to get more. Again, there's drama off of the right. That was a way for me to get more engaged into it. That's where I realized like John Cena, we kind of got the hype because he's really funny and smart. The man knows other languages. He's a K-pop fan.
Yeah.
And like he knows Mandarin and stuff. Like it's just so that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's the little things that you don't expect from these sports figures. Like I can't remember his name.
It's because people get, not saying you, but people get sucked in and they just think of these sports people as athletes and just props that they can watch. They're actual humans too who have other interests besides sports.
What was it?
It's not like I don't remember what it was. I think it was like an actor who said it. I forgot what it was, but it was it was Don Glover, which is kind of whatever. And especially it was like when he goes into acting and over the summer, it's question like, oh, can you act again? Right? He has to audition. No one goes to a sandwich worker and goes, can you make this sandwich?
Yeah.
Like you're not no one you shouldn't just be labeled as your profession. Right. Is what I'm trying to say.
I was gonna say though that was the player that was with Detroit Lions, and last I heard, I think he's with New Orleans now. But the one that's super into anime,
Jamal Williams.
And he was like, when they do at football, when they're introducing the defense or the offense, they'll say their name, and a lot of them say what college they went to, but some have adopted their high school or their elementary, right? Yeah. But he was like, he introduced himself and he's like Kazakage and it was a Naruto reference.
Akatsuki member.
Yeah.
Phantom Troop number 4.
Right. And then, again, it's Jaylen Brown, right? The one that knows how to
chess, yeah.
Chess, and he's into a bunch of stuff that I think a lot of people forget they're people too, and they have interests outside of their sports. Again, like we talked about Shaq DJs. Legitimately has a DJ career on the outside of.
Luka is a top 500 Overwatch player. Yeah. Oh my god, I love Luka.
Yeah, I was going to say this episode was starting to be just a love letter to the Mavs and Luka, which
it really is.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm grateful to be a person that's open to having, even though as being neurodivergent, I can definitely hyper focus on a certain interest, and I'll have moments where I'm more interested in it. Like I said, I just got sucked back into WWE.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that I'm open to learning other things, and also understanding, again, these are people. They have, hopes and dreams, and outside of they're just doing something. It's like, oh, Jokic. Jokic I fall in love with because this man treats the NBA like it is a 9-to-5 office job. He literally, the emotions that come from him are, I don't want to be here. I just happen to be good at this and make a lot of money of it. Like you see clips of him from winning a finals with last year and versus clips of his horses winning races, and it's vastly different. And I'm, or when he talks about, I don't want to go to parade. I got to be home with my family. Like he's just, I love that it's just someone that's like, I'm not really, like Luke is passionate about basketball, right? Yeah. This man plays in the EuroLeague in the off season. He is passionate about it. That is not Jokic. He's like, I want to make this money and I want to go home and eventually retire and just be with my kids and my wife and my horses. And it's just like, it's a lot of fun to learn who they are outside of the sport they're playing.
Yeah.
That's my point. If there was a point.
No, there is a point.
But anyhow, we're probably, we're getting there.
I gotta use the restroom.
I don't know
bad.
Okay.
And I'm so hot, but it's my fault for wearing a hockey jersey.
Which
is like, at some point, I just need to go up and use the restroom because I always can cut this out. Like, literally
learn to edit it. Yeah.
No, I know how to. It's just I know it'll throw you off.
It will throw me off.
That's why I don't do it.
But this was just a love letter to sports.
Yeah, and especially Mavs, MFFL for life.
Yes. I'm not going to try to say that because I have said it, but I know if I say it in here, I'll mess it up.
Let's go Mavs.
Let's go Mavs.
Let's go Stars.
Let's keep going Rangers. Baseball is a long sport. Lasts so long.
And yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed and loved this episode.
And it wasn't too chaotic.
Yes.
It's probably a lot. It's okay.
Love you. To the back.
To the back.
To the back.
To the back.
Podcast.